Hi, friends. It's Mrs. McCoy. I hope you guys had an awesome spring break at home. I know it might have been a little bit different from your spring break last year, but I hope you got to spend some fun times with your families, got to do some interesting activities, and hopefully you enjoyed all that rain that we had. That was a pretty crazy rainstorm we had for a few days. We're here in my backyard for our library lesson today. Luckily, we have some sunshine today, so it's a good day to be outside. Our story is one of my favorites. You may have read it before because a lot of people love this book, but I thought it was a really good time to read it again together. This one is called Sheila Rae the Brave, and it is written and illustrated by Kevin Henkes. Kevin Henkes has written so many wonderful books. You'll probably recognize his characters. He has all these little mice characters. He's written things like Chrysanthemum and Wimberly Worried and Julius Baby of the World and Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. I bet you've read some of those stories or seen them before. When we get back together in the library, we have all of Kevin Henkes' books that you can check out too and read more of his stories. But for today, we're going to read Sheila Rae the Brave. I thought it was a really good time to read a story about being brave because things are a little different than we're used to right now. And sometimes when things are changing in our world, it can be a little bit scary. It's a good time to be brave. So this is Sheila Rae the Brave. Here's our title page. Remember, that's that page on the inside that has the title of the story and the author and illustrator's name again. Sheila Rae wasn't afraid of anything. Oh my gosh, look, she's kissing a spider. Would you kiss a spider? Not me. Sheila Rae is brave. She wasn't afraid of the dark. Are you sleeping, Sheila Rae? She wasn't afraid of thunder and lightning. Let's see, is her sister afraid? I think so. We can tell from the picture. She's covering her ears, her eyes are squeezed shut, her mouth is open, almost like she might be yelling or screaming. We can tell from that illustration she definitely looks afraid. And she wasn't afraid of the big black dog at the end of the block. At dinner, Sheila Rae made believe that the cherries in her fruit cocktail were the eyes of dead bears, and she ate 5 of them. Have you ever made believe things with your food? Pretended games like that? It looks like she's having fun and her sister is scared again. At school, Sheila Rae giggled when the principal walked by. And when her classmate Wendell stole her jump rope during recess, Sheila Rae tied him up until the bell rang. I am very brave, Sheila Rae said, patting herself on the back. Sheila Rae stepped on every crack in the sidewalk without fear. When her sister Louise said there was a monster in the closet, Sheila Rae attacked it. She's ready to fight a monster. She's got a baseball bat, sunglasses, a hat, a cape, big shoes, a net. She got all of her equipment to fight a monster. And she rode her bicycle no-handed with her eyes closed. Yeah, yeah, Sheila Rae, her friends yelled, clapping their hands. Let's see, what is Sheila Rae missing in this picture where she's riding her bicycle? She's missing something important. You're right. She should definitely have a helmet on. I hope when you guys are riding your bikes at home right now, you're always wearing your helmet. It's important to be safe, even if you're brave. One day, Sheila Rae decided to walk home from school a new way. Louise was afraid to. You're too brave for me, Louise said. You're always such a scaredy cat, Sheila Rae called. Am not, whispered Louise. Sheila Rae started off skipping. I am brave, she sang. I am fearless. She stepped on every crack. She walked backward with her eyes closed. My page is stuck. There we go. She growled at stray dogs and bared her teeth at stray cats. Can you tell from the picture what it means to bare your teeth? Yeah, that means to show your teeth like a growl, like, "Arr." Can you bare your teeth? Arr. And she pretended that the trees were evil creatures. She climbed up them and broke their fingers off. Snap, snap, snap. Sheila Rae walked and walked. She turned corners. She crossed streets. Any predictions about what's going to happen? She's walking and walking. She's very brave. What might happen next in the story? What do you predict? It suddenly occurred to Sheila Rae that nothing looked familiar. Sheila Rae heard frightening noises. They sounded worse than thunder. She thought horrible thoughts. They were worse than anything she had ever imagined. I am brave, Sheila Rae tried to convince herself. I am fearless. The sounds became more frightening. The thoughts became more horrible. Sheila Rae sat down on a rock and cried. Help, she sniffed. She thought of her mother and father and Louise. Mother, father, Louise, she cried. Who's been following her? Did you notice? Here I am, a voice said. Louise! Sheila Rae hugged her sister. We're lost, Sheila Rae said. No, we're not, said Louise. I know the way home. Follow me. Louise stepped on every crack. She walked backwards with her eyes closed. She growled at stray dogs and bared her teeth at stray cats. And she pretended that the trees were evil creatures. She jumped up and broke their fingers off. Snap, snap, snap. Sheila Rae walked quietly behind her. What do you think Sheila Rae's thinking right now? Usually it's Sheila Rae who's doing all those brave things, but right now she's just walking quietly. How do you think she feels? They walked and walked. They crossed streets. They turned corners. Soon, their house could be seen between the trees. Sheila Rae grabbed Louise and dashed up the street. When they reached their own yard and the gate was closed behind them, Sheila Rae said, Louise, you are brave. You are fearless. We both are, said Louise. And they walked backwards into the house with their eyes closed. And that is the end of Sheila Rae the Brave by Kevin Henkes. I like that book a lot. It reminds us that even though we're brave most of the time, sometimes things can be scary. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not brave. It doesn't mean that you're not strong. It's just that sometimes things can happen that are a little bit scary. I want you to think about a time when you were scared and a time when you were brave. We learned the words in that story fearless and fearful. Fearless means you're not scared at all, you have no fear. And fearful means that you feel very scared, you have a lot of fear. So think of a time that you felt fearful. Something scary happened. Maybe you heard a creepy noise in the middle of the night. And think of a time that you felt fearless, like Louise and Sheila Rae, a time when you were very brave. I'm going to put a link below the story to a little worksheet that I made where you can write a sentence about a time that you were brave and a time that you were scared. Maybe a time you were fearless and a time you were fearful, just like Sheila Rae in the story. All right, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful week. Keep reading, keep growing your brains, and I will see you for your library time next week. Bye bye.